The Loafers Lodge killer was today forced to confront the horrifying impact of the tragedy he created as he was sentenced to at least 22 years in prison. 5 people died in the blaze at the Wellington hostel in 2023, and their families and survivors telling Esarona David of the devastation his actions left behind. Senior reporter Juliet Speedy has the story.
Esarona David listening to the heartache he caused to the families of those he murdered. Margaret Warlick brought her perished brother Michael's photo to court.
To ensure he is remembered as a person and not a name. Can you look at his photo?
Michael Warlick was a popular Wellington busker.
His fans named him Mike the Juggler.
And Mike the Juggler died in the Loafers Lodge fire alongside Ken Barnard, Liam Hockings, Peter O'Sullivan and Melvin Parran.
When I learnt that you had deliberately lit the fire, I became an angry person. To know that you selfishly cut his life short is incredibly difficult to accept, and I can't get it out of my mind that you took him from us in such a horrific way.
Kenneth Barnard's nephew spoke of his gentle nature.
Ken was simply always kind and sincere. There was a real innocence to Ken that I know I'll never encounter in quite the same way. Whenever you had a conversation with Ken, he was strikingly open-hearted and genuine.
And like many in the lodge, he'd battled through some life struggles.
Ken also had great challenges. The coldness of his father left a dark mark right at his centre, and a retinue of neurodiversity, undiagnosed, meant that having him directly in your household would be testing and even eventually unsustainable. He worked endlessly to figure himself out.
Shortly before Esarona David lit the deadly Wellington fire, he had escaped a mental health facility in Auckland, where he was receiving treatment for his schizophrenia.
What has been especially difficult for our family is knowing that in the lead up to the tragedy, the man responsible has disengaged from treatment and had stopped receiving his medication. Learning this has left us with a deep sense of anguish. We cannot help but feel that the system, as it operated at that time, did not have the means to intervene early enough to prevent the deterioration that preceded this tragedy.
The court also heard from surviving residents of Loafers Lodge.
I got out of jail about 6 months before I moved into Loafers Lodge, and I turned my life around. I started working, I started getting things together, only to lose it all. I've become reclusive, standoffish from people. I find it hard to go out. I'm on antidepressants. Life has gone downhill so badly. I'm trying not to resort back to my criminal past. That's a step backwards.
Mark Jones and his wife were put up in Loafers Lodge by the hospital while he was undergoing some procedures. He recalled the anguish of seeing Liam Hockings as the fire broke out.
I exchanged a few words with him to the effect that it was just another false alarm. Liam looked up and said to me, "Is it?" And I remarked, "You should go back to bed." This has come to haunt me with quite serious psychological consequences, as Liam was destined to die later that night.
The judge heard many harrowing statements of survivors who watched fellow residents burn to death through windows and of already vulnerable lives ending in the most horrific of ways. The judge gave Esarona David life behind bars with 22 years until he's eligible for parole.
You will be detained as a special patient until you are well enough to transition to imprisonment.
A long sentence handed down, but nothing will restore what and who was lost.